Namaste, this is Rishikesh Writings, and I'm your host Anand again with the beautiful Rishikesh here. Today the guest is Tara Aranji from Australia. Namaste.
Namaste.
So how are you feeling about the Rishikesh, Taraji?
Beautiful. It's a beautiful day here in Rishikesh. We're sitting beside Ma Ganga. It's very nice. I'm feeling very relaxed.
It was a pleasure to see you in a Rishikesh, and we would like to know about from your heart. That's how you define our city Rishikesh, and how do you like the city?
I guess I could really only speak about my experience. I first travelled to India in 1993. I arrived in Delhi, Jaipur, Madras, Chennai, went over to the west coast, all the way down to Kochi and Kovalam, went Pondicherry as well. So I really never saw the north of India. And I think it was probably in 1900s, I became a yoga teacher, started studying yoga. And I just had a desire to do more training, and I saw a teacher training course here in Rishikesh. I had no idea where it was, and so I came. That was in 2015. And when I first arrived, it was like I felt as though I'd arrived in some medieval village because I arrived up the back. It was amazing. And I've been coming back at least once a year, twice a year most of the time, since that time. A lot of changes have happened in Rishikesh just only in those 3 years. I can never stop being mesmerized by the Ganges River, Ma Ganga.
If we talk about some good things about the Rishikesh, what is these things attract you about Rishikesh?
I'm very attracted to Rishikesh because it's one of the few places in the world where you can come, where nearly everybody that visits here comes here for yoga. So, people are generally very united in their interests. They're coming here mainly for yoga. It still has a feeling of being authentically North Indian, and yet in some ways it's quite westernized as well. So I feel as though it's a beautiful mix of the East and the West here.
And if we goes every coin have two faces. So if we're going to see some bad thing about the Rishikesh, what would you like to say?
I don't know whether I can define it as bad, but the longer I am a yoga student, and the more I study classical traditional yoga, the more I realize the way we have come to practice yoga in the West doesn't seem to have too much to do with classical traditional yoga, and it does seem as though Rishikesh is following that Western path and providing a service to Westerners rather than maybe traditional Indian yoga. I'm not sure, but that's how it seems.
So you mean to say that the Indian teachers should be in their own tradition and teach on their own traditional way?
Well, it's very hard to say that because I notice not a lot of Indian people actually practice yoga. So, that's a big thing to ask them to practice in their traditional way when they're not already practicing. I guess so that there is a desire from a Western point of view that you come here to India, and I think most people have a desire to be taught in the classical way. So, there's no shoulds, but it seems as though there has to be a middle ground where, we are healthy and we look at our body very, very much. But for me, the purpose of yoga, what yoga is a gradual process of taking the clouds away from the mind, of clearing the mind. Okay, so if it's only a physical process, if it's only a set of, yoga gymnastics, no doubt there is benefit. But, and if people come here and buy malas and dip them in the Ganges and then they believe they have got the spirit of Rishikesh, well, I know, well, but that does happen, and so I feel a bit confused, as you can hear.
Wherever we go in a travel, So food is the main attraction of that place. So which food you attract in a Rishikesh? Which food attracts you about the Rishikesh, and which is the best food you love it in a Rishikesh?
I love the classical northern Indian food, and you know there's some places, a place up there called Purple Darbor. They've got this amazing natural tandoori oven, and you can get roti that has been cooked on the tandoori, and you know they do potato aloo and gobi, aloo and gobi, you know, just like in a beautiful clear spicy mix. That's my favorite, you know, just easy, simple Indian food. I love it. You know, I don't really come here to eat Western food, so I don't really eat that much Western.
So you are recommended the Purple Dhaba in Rishikesh, so there the people can visit to taste the tandoori, Indian tandoori.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
It was pleasure to see you, and we wish you will come again and again in my city. And at the end of our messages, what would you like to say to your Australian people and all around the world about the Rishikesh?
I'd highly recommend that, you know, you visit and visit soon. Change is happening really quickly here. We've got glass fronted shops coming, and there's a lot of changes happening. So I'd come very soon. Namaste.
This is our guest, Tahara RNG from Australia, and we are very glad to share about her thoughts about the Rishikesh, and we will come back to you with the new stories and new people and new adventure about the in Rishikesh writing. So you can watch our website and YouTube channel and Facebook with the same name, Rishikesh Writing. Namaste.
Namaste.